Denver have approved a measure legalizing the possession of small amounts of pot. Colorado law still makes possession of the drug illegal, but in Denver, adults 21 and over may now possess up to an ounce of marijuana without penalty. Joining us to take up the debate is Mason Tvert, who led the legalization campaign, and Denver City Councilman Charlie Brown, who was opposed to the referendum. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Brown, let me start with you. Are you surprised by this outcome, and why do you think this passed?
Well, I think it was a protest vote. I think we all have a little libertarian streak in us, and we're kind of somewhat anti-federal government here. I wasn't surprised, but we're still going to enforce our laws here in Denver, and that's the key issue I want to get across.
Well, what does that mean?
That means that we're still going to enforce, based on state law, that it's illegal to possess marijuana in the city and county of Denver. This initiative was more symbolic than anything else. So I want everybody to know, don't climb to your VW vans and bring your tied down t-shirts, flock to Denver thinking you can have a smoke in one of our many beautiful parks. You can't do that. That's illegal, and we will continue to enforce our laws.
Mr. Tvert, is that how you see what passed here? That basically they're going to continue to enforce the state law?
We disagree with that, and we expect the elected officials here in the city of Denver to represent the people that put them in office, and right now they're not doing that. And the fact is, this is something that the city can implement. It's not whether they can, it's whether they will. And this just goes to show the hypocrisy behind our laws that force adults to use a more harmful drug in alcohol rather than the much safer alternative, which is marijuana. And I think Councilman Brown's comments about people in tie-dyes and going in VW vans just goes to show how mixed up he is. I mean, 53% of the voters in Denver voted on this. This is a mainstream issue, and he's trying to marginalize it. And that's unfortunate, because there are many professional, law-abiding citizens who make the rational, safer choice to use marijuana instead of alcohol.
In fact, Mr. Brown, that was part of the campaign. They said that this will make Denver safer.
And that was a fraud issue. It was disingenuous. It was deceptive. And they ought to be ashamed of themselves for running that kind of campaign.
What about it's deceptive?
I want to get back to the state law issue. We cannot overturn state law. We cannot have conflicting laws on the books. We have to obey our state laws. That's the way the system is set up. Now, what we can do is make things more restricted, as we did for our pit bull ban. We decided we wanted to do that in the city and county of Denver, and we did it. That's more restrictive, but we cannot lessen laws that are written by the state and also the federal government.
Is that your belief, Mr. Tvert? What are legal experts telling you?
Well, our attorneys' opinions have been saying that this is something the city can implement, and due to prosecutorial discretion, our prosecutors have a great deal of power, and Charlie Brown knows that, and he's being disingenuous and misleading by saying that they can't. They get to choose who and when they prosecute, and under what laws, and that is not true that state law supersedes city law. As Councilman Brown pointed out, the Denver pit bull ban is a direct violation. Councilman, I waited for you to stop. The Denver pit bull ban was a direct violation of state law, and the city upheld it, and it was upheld in court. And I should also say that the state of Colorado is a medical marijuana state, and that's a direct violation of federal law. And, you know, unfortunately, our laws are not as black and white as our elected officials like Councilman Brown seem to think they are. And he should know that they often do conflict. And that's what makes this country so great, that people can vote on laws regardless of what their federal government tells them at the local level regarding local issues like the law enforcement surrounding marijuana, when it is in fact less deadly and less harmful than the drug that our mayor here in Denver sells, which is alcohol. And, you know, I think it's interesting that the National Beer Wholesalers Association...
He is no longer selling alcohol.
Councilman Brown...
We have to let that be the last word. I'm sorry, but this is an interesting issue. People can find more about it online. Mason Tvert, head of the Denver legalization campaign, and Denver City Councilman Charlie Brown. Thanks to both of you for your time today.
Thank you.